everyone, welcome back to DevOps Doc. So in the last session, we explored how Docker works internally. We understood its architecture, client and server model, and core objects like images and containers. So now it's time to get some hands-on. In this session, we'll install Docker on a Linux system step by step. We'll see how the Docker daemon and Docker client come into play, and how the daemon runs in the background, and how the client communicates with it to build and run containers. So by the end of this session, you will have Docker fully set up and ready to go, so that we can start experimenting with real containers in the upcoming sessions. So let's dive in and get Docker running on the Ubuntu Linux machine. So before installation, I just wanted to show you this comparison table. So we can install Docker with different ways. We can simply go and install using our apt package manager. So we can install it using simply sudo apt install docker io, and we can use the docker ce, which is the official one. The version is a bit older in docker.io because it is managed by Ubuntu, but the docker ce, that is the latest stable repository. Docker io, this is managed by Ubuntu, and this one is managed by Docker Inc. And this Docker IO, the Docker Compose plugin is not installed. You have to install it manually. So this is not pre-installed. Whereas in Docker CE, the Docker Compose plugin installed by default. And now Docker using Buildx plugin. Instead of build, you will use Buildx. So in Docker IO, you won't get the Buildx plugin installed by default. But in Docker CE, you have it by default. So the update frequency is bit slow in Docker IO because it is maintained by Ubuntu repository. So they might add that latest repository bit later. But the Docker CE, you will get frequent updates. So Docker IO is not recommended for production because it's the older repository, but Docker CE is the recommended one. So if you are learning for testing, then use Docker IO, it will work fine. But if you are doing serious development or CI/CD or production deployments, you should always prefer the official Docker installation, which is Docker CE. Okay, so now let's dive in and install Docker CE. So in this session, I'll install Docker CE. So I'll just simply do a Google search, Docker install. Then I'll go to this official page, and I'll click Ubuntu here because I'm going to install in Ubuntu machine. I'm going to use this Ubuntu Jammy, and here I'll use apt to install it. So let's copy one by one and install it. Let me open the terminal. I'll just keep it always on top. Now let's add the Docker's official GPG key. I'll copy one by one. Let's update it first. Now let's add the repository to the apt sources. Let's update it again. We have added that repository. So here you can see it has added the runtime, it has added the Buildx plugin, and it has added the Docker Compose as well. So we don't have to install Docker Compose additionally. So while installing Docker, you should follow these steps to get the updated version. Otherwise, you could do simply sudo apt update, then sudo apt install docker.io. So once the Docker installation is done, the Docker service starts automatically after your installation. To verify that Docker is running, you can run this command. You can see it's now active and running. But some systems may have this behavior disabled and will require a manual start. So by using this command, we are activating Docker daemon. I'll just copy this command. We already have running, so we don't need to run this. Okay, but if you see that is not active and not running, then you can use this command to run that. So let's understand the Docker daemon and client a bit. So now that Docker is installed, let's look at how it's actually running. So Docker client is what you use in your terminal. Let's say like Docker run, Docker build, Docker ps. Every time you type the command, the client sends the request to the Docker daemon. Whereas Docker daemon is the background services, which is this fellow that does all the heavy lifting. It builds images, start containers, and manages networks, and handles communication with registries. So both communicate using REST APIs over Unix socket relies under var/run/docker shop. So it uses that to talk to the Docker daemon. So you can verify that using Docker info. While running the Docker info, you can see the server returned one error, which is permission denied while trying to connect to the Docker daemon socket at Unix socket. I told you the client will connect to Docker daemon using this socket. So it is giving us permission denied error. Let's go to the documentation which we installed. It says receiving error when trying to run without root. The Docker user group exists but contains no users, which is why you are required to use sudo to run Docker commands. Let's try with sudo. And we are getting some results. You can see there are no containers running, paused or stopped. That means we are able to connect to Docker daemon using Docker CLI using sudo. But let's say we don't want to use sudo every time. So what it says, the Docker user group exists but contains no users. So we have to add one user to the Docker group. Let's click on this Linux post install, where it is guiding us to create a Docker group and add the current user to that group. So let's create a Docker group. Already the Docker group is added when you install Docker. If it is not added, then just copy this command. You see it's already exists. Now let's add our user to the Docker group. We have added. You can do log out and log back in again so that that group membership is re-evaluated. Otherwise you can do new grp docker so that it will activate the changes to the groups. Now use docker info. You see we are now not getting that error message which was permission denied. We are getting previously, right? So now we are not getting that. And we are seeing the detailed info about container images and storage drivers. If you see here, see these are the information we are getting. That means our client can talk to Docker daemon without any error and the communication is successful. Now let's run a test container. Let's verify that we can run Docker commands without sudo. Let's copy that, go back to our terminal. And our container is running. You see that message from the container, hello from Docker. This message shows that your installation appears to be working correctly. And to generate this message, Docker took the following steps. What Docker followed: the Docker client contacted the Docker daemon. The Docker daemon pulled the hello world image from the Docker hub. The Docker daemon created a new container from that image which runs the executable that produces the output you are currently reading, which is this output. The Docker daemon streamed that output to the Docker client, which sent it to the terminal. To try something more, you can use this command docker run it ubuntu bash, which we'll see later on. But this is the information how Docker client contacted to Docker daemon, and you are seeing this output. So this image only, this container only giving that information, how it contacted and how it pulled that image and how it ran the container. And that's it for today. Docker is now successfully installed on your Linux system. We also got a clear look at how the Docker daemon and Docker client interact. The daemon doing all the heavy lifting behind the scene, while the client is what we use to send commands and manage our containers. So in the next session, we'll take things a step further. We'll explore Docker registries, understand image layers, and learn how to build our own Docker image using a Docker file. So that's where you will really start to see the power of Docker in action. So stay tuned, and if you are enjoying this Docker workshop, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to DevOps Doc for more DevOps deep dives. So see you next time. Till then, bye bye. Take care.